Hello, and welcome to the Seeking Heaven channel and to our special live Friday chat, which is Seekers Speak Live. So, hello, true seekers. Today, we're going to have so much fun. So, first of all, if you don't know me, I'm Tamara Caulder Richardson. I'm the host of the Seeking Heaven channel. Let's say that for short. And I'm a 6-time near-death experiencer, as well as an evidential psychic medium, Christ Chandler, afterlife speaker, and spiritual teacher. So welcome. And we also have live spiritual lessons. So next Friday, we're going to have a spiritual lesson. So it'll be a surprise what that will be. So you'll find out. Sign up, subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll see the bi-weekly episodes. So go ahead and do that. Like, make comments. I do try to answer everybody directly if I can. So let me tell you a little bit about our guest today, which you might already be familiar with. And if you want to check into the chat box, I will be responding to everyone. And I want to shout out, we do have a new member. Thank you, Jim Cleveland. I appreciate that. And welcome on board to the Seeking Heaven online soul community and family. So, there's Nicole. So good to see you. Hey, we haven't talked in a while. So that is my beautiful and very spiritually aware cousin. So thank you for being here. All right. So today we have, before I bring them on, Cecilia Gonzales. She was on yesterday, if you remember. She is we couldn't quite figure it out. We know at least 2 times, but with her turning blue a lot with her heart condition, maybe more than that. We'll just say multiple near-death experiencer, but she's had also many spiritually transformative experiences, including speaking to the archangel, the healing angel, Raphael, which she called Raphael. She wasn't sure. That's so cute. But it was the archangel Michael. So today we have an amazing story. Let me tell you a little bit about her. This story is just phenomenal, and she's still in the process of this healing story. So we'll have to keep updated. But Anna is a attorney. She's an attorney at law, and she is also an afterlife speaker. She has spoken at I know that I met Anna on the Spanish panel, but she spoke at the Spiritual Awakenings International Conference, and she was on the Spanish panel for SAI. And so she is now also on the board. So welcome. And she's been doing a lot with the NDE community, but today we're going to talk to her about her NDEs, her heart condition, and how she's been healing with horses. So welcome, Anna.
Hello, Tamara. Thank you for having me here again.
Oh, yes, we're going to have fun. And we, Anna, and I've always, from the very beginning, we clicked, and I thought, what a nice lady. And so she has been just so gracious and so kind. So if you haven't seen the first episode with Anna, please see that first episode, because she'll go into more detail on her spiritually transformative experiences, and then including seeing people that have crossed over and getting messages and knowing things, a little bit of the after effects. She talks about that a little bit more in depth. But today we wanted to talk about healing with horses. And I love this beautiful, it's just I love these. You got to see these soulful images. Look at her with her cute little hat with the horses and linging. Look how adorable you are. You look like a little kid. And this is actually a thing, guys, horse therapy. And maybe start, Anna, about your heart condition. We'll just kind of walk through it as we know it. And then how we met, how you got involved with the horse therapy, and then we'll just go from there.
Sure. Well, first of all, I really appreciate you having me here. I know you are a messenger, and you and I have met for a reason. And I really feel very honored to be here with you, Tamara. Oh, thank you. Well, yes, as you said, I was born with a very, very serious heart condition that at that time, nobody really believed that I was going to survive. And because of that, I had a lot of experiences without knowing what was really happening to me. But this was part of. I've been a spiritual person since I was very small. And probably it started because of my parents. I remember I understood I was going to die at around 7 or 8. because I was very sick all the time because of my heart condition. I had very little oxygen going on there. I was always purple or almost blue. So I remember when after a visit to the doctor, my father talked to me and he said, "Well, this is what doctors say. This is diagnosis, the prognosis. But what if God has another plan?" And I held on to that, and that's where everything started. So I started really believing that I was going to have a beautiful life and imagining, visualizing everything. And that's where it started. And since I was a very young girl, I remember in moments where I was going through a very difficult time breathing, and I always thought there was a little ghost behind me all the time and somebody close to me all the time. And I thought he was the ghost of death. I mean, he's coming for me. And so I decided to name this little friend of mine because I spoke to him and I said, "Please go away. I don't need you. I don't want to go now. Not yet." I was very conscious about me dying. So I decided in Spanish, if for Spanish is Rafael and for English is Rafaela. So I decided to put it in the middle without a vocal. So it's Raffle.
So cute.
And that's the way I named him for many, many, many years.
I like that.
And when I was writing my book, I said, "Well, what does Raffle mean?" I was looking for the meaning, and I wrote it almost at the end of the book because then is when I found out. So my beautiful ghost was really an angel taking care of me all the time. So I did have these big conversations with him, and I remember visualizing him. One of the things I saw, I think I told you last time, is that I was riding a horse. That's why it's so impressive that we're talking about this now. I was riding a horse in a very cold weather. I was probably 10 years old with a friend, and suddenly I was so cold that I started turning purple. And when I got to the house with my mother, my mother's friend, she immediately said, get down to the horse, come and let's go to the fire and let's warm you up." But I remember when I was driving, I was just holding, like freezing, and I remember seeing Raffle on my side in a horse riding with me, and I could imagine that. I said, no, wait, go away. And I remembered in my mind telling him, "Go away. I don't want to go now. I'm going to be okay. Please don't take me now." But I now know he was just riding with me and protecting me.
Right. Wow. So your guardian angel is Raphael.
Yes, that's what I believe.
Yeah, I believe that too. Very much so, which is no accident that you have the archangel, a healing angel with you, because that's pretty powerful.
That's what's the amazing thing. Yeah, he's a healing angel.
It really is. Now we were talking about earlier, we met with the I think we were doing the SAI speaker spotlight sequence. That's initially where I first met you. And then through that, and then we, there's the audio again. And then this is live, guys, things happen. So we're back with the audio. So, but we met at that point, and then I don't know what it was. I think, did we even set up an interview at that point? I don't know why we just started talking. But
I remember very well that you were very nice. We were doing this before the show. We were, some of us were there. You were guiding us, and you were, how do you say it? You were the host. You were the host.
Yeah.
And after the show, after we did everything, about 3 or 4 days later, I remember, I like the way you did it, and your light, and you were so brilliant in the way you talked and everything. And that's it. But then 3 or 4 days later, you wrote to me and said, "Would you like to be on my show?" And I said, "What? Wow." So then is where we started talking, because we set a date, and it was already set, but then my heart was just failing again, and I had a lot of tachycardia, so I had to cancel that one, remember? And I said, "Tamara, I need to go to Houston. Yes. I'm going to have a surgery. I can't do this." So that is when we really started talking. Yeah.
Then we were on the WhatsApp, which is an app, and we were going back and forth. And I have other people that I know in different countries. And so I use WhatsApp. And I think you were telling me through that and saying, yeah, I'm going to be busy because you live actually between the US and also Mexico, right?
Mexico is basically my
Mexico.
home. Yeah.
Mexico's your home. And so we started with that. And she goes, I've got to go in the hospital. I think you expressed, I think you get, you'll have to help me with the story because it was so organic. I don't remember it all, but you said, oh, I'm really concerned. I got to get another surgery. I hope this is the last one. You were concerned and complaining at the same time, which I don't blame you. I don't blame you a bit. And you
The
were
thing is
like,
that I had just gotten one 2 months before. So I had to go to the whole process again because it didn't really work the way they were expecting. So my doctor said, you have to go back. Otherwise, this won't stop. So
well,
I
and
was just not very happy about it.
so this condition, so everybody understands that you've had as a child is something which is amazing to me. You are not supposed to live to even be an adult with this heart
No,
condition, correct?
no.
And you have this beautiful daughter that I can't even believe. And that's in the, you talk about the story in the first episode that, yeah, like you were not supposed to have children either. You weren't even supposed to be here that long. You
No,
probably
I was,
pretty.
they did their recommendation not to get married, not to have a child, not to have a sex life, not to, no, 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 no. Everything was no.
They said that. That's
So
really creepy. They
yeah,
told you that. The doctor told
yes.
you don't have a sex
When
life.
I was
It's so
15,
weird.
yeah, they asked me if I had started a sex life because I had a boyfriend, and I said like, well, like a Mexican. I said, of course not. I'm not married, you
Yeah,
know.
old fashioned. Yeah.
So they said, okay, okay, well, don't get married, don't have a sex relation, don't because you're not going to stand that. And for me, that was like, I don't know, like a death sentence, and the rebellious part of that age, teenagers, and I just didn't accept it. So when my mom asked me, because the doctors were very private with me, and she said, what did they say? And I said, they told me to have a regular life like everybody. My heart will stop me, but it's okay. I could go on. I imagined really in that moment my mom taking me to be a nun, a nun, and going to. And I said, I don't want that. I want to. I like
Wanted a
boys. I want
life.
to get married. I want to have a baby. All
Yeah.
those dreams in my mind. So I
Yeah.
just didn't accept it, and then I went on with my life.
That is
But
amazing because you said that you're like a rare case. What was the name of the heart disease that you had?
I have a transposition of the great vessels. Vena aorta and cava are mixed, and I only have one ventricle. So that means, and pulmonary stenosis. So that means that the blood is always mixed, blue blood, and so I got my first surgery after my baby when I was 24. So I was, so it was just not even real that a baby could survive in that
Wow.
environment. And
Well,
it's not that I was so irresponsible. It was really
oh no.
God's answers because we were not really, I wanted a baby, but
Yeah.
it was not the moment to get pregnant. And I did,
Right.
these things.
You were married at this point too. You got
Yes.
married too. So you defied everything they said, which is great. Sometimes
I
doctors
wanted to know life. I mean, love life. And I did it.
look at her. Look how
And
pretty.
a year and a half later, I got pregnant.
Yeah, and she's a grown woman now. I mean, like this was against all the odds. God is so good. God is
That's
so
my
good.
baby.
And I have met Anna Paula, and she's a bright, intelligent, sweet lady, very sweet. So that's amazing. So now, so you're having, so we don't know each other. So going back to that story, we don't know each other, and I'm trying to set up the show, and you said I think I have to have the surgery, and I'm like, of course, well, if you need the surgery, and then I think what pulled me in, I didn't try, but what pulled me in psychically, whatever you want to call it, emotionally, is you were concerned and you were like, I don't know. I mean, there's another surgery. Is this the last one? I mean, what's involved? I mean, how's this? And you had some concerns about this. And that's when I started getting a message for you. And I think I just told you, and I just kind of blurted it out on the WhatsApp, but I don't know how I didn't really even think how you'd receive it. I just had a comforting message for you. Do you want to
And
talk about that?
the beautiful thing was, Tamara, that my daughter was with me when we were on the phone.
Oh, I
So
didn't know that.
we were on the phone, remember? And then I told you, my daughter's here and she wants to listen to what you're telling me.
Oh,
So
yeah.
she was thrilled with you, and she said, because it was really a very comforting message, that you said you're going to be surrounded by angels. Don't worry, you're going to be okay, and this is going to be your last surgery, and all those things started to build me up again, because I was sad because the first surgery had not been very nice. It was 11 hours, and I was
Mm,
the recovery was not precisely the best. And then this second one, well, I was just afraid of going again. And I had
right.
been through so many moments in the hospitals and surgeries and how do you call it, catheterizations, many things. So probably it's my age, but when I was younger, I just didn't care. Oh, let's do it. But this time I was just, maybe because I have a daughter and and a
Right.
son. I adopted a son later. So I just want to be there for them. I want to be alive. So I was just afraid. But when I talked to you, you made a whole difference with your beautiful messages. And you talked to me about my mom and my grandmom that you don't even know her because she's not here. She's gone many years ago, but you talked to me about her, and she's a very important person in my life, and I talk a lot about her in my book. She was very comforting while I grew up, and she's one of the ones that made me believe that I was going to be alive and that I was going to be okay. So I trusted her, and she didn't. She was not a doctor or anything, but I just believe in the way she transmitted that information, and you talked about her that day. So it
She
was
was
just amazing.
well, it just came out, and it just I felt overwhelmed with emotion, and Jesus came through to you and said, "This will be your last one, that you'll be healed, and this is it." And he said that there's a little guy that's young, and he's very good at this new procedure, and he's gonna do the surgery with him. Don't you love that? Isn't that awesome?
And it was exactly that. It was Dr. Dave. He's very young and he's so clever. And you know, something that have not shared with you is that when this finished and I was recovered, it was a difficult recovery again. I was in the hospital for about 4 nights, but it was awesome because I started feeling much better. So when I went to follow up to visit him, and you look at him and he's so young. I don't have a picture, otherwise I would show it. But I was telling him, I really appreciate everything you did because you do magic with your hands. You're wonderful. For me, you're an angel on earth doing this. So he
Yeah.
was so humble, and he just lowered his eyes. He was looking at the floor, just trying to receive all of this. And then suddenly he just looked at me and he said, if there's something that really makes me happy, is to be able, as a doctor, to have a patient like you. I never thought I was going to be able to have someone like you because it's a miracle you're alive.
Wow. Yes, you are a testimony,
So
but wow. Oh, you're breaking up some there, but yeah, the fact that you have beat the records, and also I think that there's a lot going on there. But your attitude, you refuse, you're stubborn, uh, but you refuse
stubborn.
to take this horrible negative advice and to go on with a life. You're going to have a life, but then of course, if you watch the first episode, you talk about the angels being around you, and you've always had God's assistance. And then when Jesus directly came through and answered you, I thought it was pretty awesome. And then your relatives and your grandmother, who was close to you, said she lived with you for a while there, but she was with you, and
Yes.
they drew near, and it was a happy thing. And that said, "You're done with this." And I think it's this. I think they just saw you're just tired of these surgeries. You're just sick of
Yes.
and you just
Yeah.
want to do life. And there's so much you're doing. Talking about you, just before I forget, you have this Spanish, and Spanish, it's a podcast, and you're doing that. You're also doing the monthly Spanish things for Spiritual Awakenings International, which you can.
Helping this organization called Cardio Chavito, which is a lot of children with no economical resources,
Hmm.
helping raise money just to help them get a surgery. Otherwise, they're going to die. So
Wow.
I do this helping in Monterey, and I do a lot of also conferences. Well, now with this COVID, everything stopped a little bit, but I've been around many places sharing my story in the sense of being hope with doctors. I'm going to have an interview next week, which is going to be precisely as an adult congenital.
Oh, you broke up there, Anna. An adult, what were you saying? Say that
Um,
last one again. You have the interview, but you sort of broke up. I don't know. It
because
could
I'm
be.
probably one of the oldest patients alive with my
Okay, you are. Okay,
of a
you're.
very, very popular doctors at the hospital in Houston.
Wow. So you're going to go there. It was breaking up a little bit. She's in Mexico. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, in the USA. You're in Mexico. So, I don't know if you got a storm there. There's a little bit of technology. So bear with us for a minute. So you have the interview to do. What was it again? I know you said the oldest living with this condition.
It's going to be about being how did I take care of myself having
Uh,
such a serious condition. So
mm,
we just want to be like helping other parents coming with children with heart conditions like mine. So
got
it's
it.
just to
Wow.
make parents be conscious and how to cover them to take care. Like, so they just want to hear my side of the story.
You're going to do so much. It's not even funny. You're just going to,
Yeah,
and
you
that was,
also told me that. But
I
I
did.
was just
Okay.
starting. Yeah, you told me that.
Well, here's the thing. Jesus has to get you well because you got a lot going on. You got a lot to do. You're going to do a lot of, and you have favor because you're obedient. You do what I'm actually getting the chills. It's the angels. Every time I get the chills, it's the angels. Like not bad chills, but like woo, like it feels good, not a bad thing. That you're going to do so much that he God can do these things. We have a God of miracles that can heal us. I mean,
Amen. Yeah.
why are some people healed over other people? I can't answer these things. I don't know. That's a mystery. But in this case, all I know, and I don't always give people that message, but I did get that. Absolutely. I mean, I know that's kind of a big deal to say that, but when I got it, I knew he was telling the truth. I mean, I knew, bam, that's what's going to happen. But then what was funny is because I started talking to Anna Paula and you and just checking in on you, and because we kind of developed a little friendship, and I was checking in on you, and then something came out again, like the Tourette's, like you need to do the horse therapy. You need to work with the horses. It just came out. I think it was just like that. But
Yes, I
then take
remember
it from there.
you wrote to me at night, and I saw this message next morning. That's why this was so amazing. So you wrote it at night. I don't remember what time. So I saw it in the morning, and it was wonderful that you were telling me, well, I've read a lot about this, and you sent me several things to read. And you said you should try horse therapy. I'm
Yeah.
sure this is really going to help you. And in my mind and heart, I gotta be honest, I said, well, Tamara, that's wonderful, but where in Mexico am I going to find that? I mean, it just like,
You're like,
well,
yeah,
that sounds good. I just see it like if it's for very rich people and they go to these wonderful places. That's what I was thinking. So I said, well, let me look at it. I thought I was going to have to travel and to look for places where to go, because I believed that if you were telling it to me, there was something there that I should listen. So after that,
right.
uh, I mean, I don't know if you were going to say something before.
Yeah, just real quick. I just remembered something. What it was is we were going, you got to understand, everybody, we were going back and forth. How are you? How's today? We were just chatting like you would anyone else on a text. And I said, you need to do this. And it was realigning your chakras because I felt there was a meditation. I thought, oh, you're out, your energy's off.
Yes, that's it. Right.
And your energy's off. And then I was told to give you, see, I didn't even know there was anything, a meditation on regulating your heart.
And I did two of them that night. And
See,
then, and next morning I see this horses thing.
that's it.
So it was just so strange because that day, I remember there was a very good friend of mine was going to go to my house because we're renting a small place. And I asked her, when can you come? Because I really need you to see this space. And she said, well, you know something? I cannot go today because I'm going to go to a horse therapy. And I said, what?
That was the next day, wasn't it?
Yes, next day. After you wrote this and after I did this
And
aligning
you
chakras. And I've never heard about horse therapists in my town, in my hometown, Monterey. I've never heard about that. So I said, well, where is this? Tell me about it. So she started sending me information and pictures. She sent me the phone. And that day I had an appointment. This was, I don't know, probably Thursday or something. So next Sunday, I was going to my first horse therapy. It was amazing. But the most incredible thing is that the way I contacted this is a mother, and then the daughter is a psychologist, and she's the one doing the therapist, but the mother is the owner with the family. And
Okay.
I was chatting to the mother, and then she said, you should come and you should help us
Yeah.
bathe the horses, and you should help us feed them, and you should help. And I was, do you do this with everybody?
Yeah, you did. I remember that because it was, yeah, you said, do you do that? She kind of took you in, didn't she? She kind of took you in. I think I got a picture of her here. Isn't that her?
Yes,
Hold on.
yes.
I don't know.
That's the place, Zamora. That's exactly the place. Yes, that's her. They were doing some therapy, and she was just putting her hand there.
And then there's some other, I don't know which one is her daughter, but very cute pictures. Look how beautiful it
The
is.
daughter is
Which one is she?
in yellow.
Uh, oh gosh, she looks like her mom.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, they just how
Same with it.
beautiful.
Yes. This is the place, and it was just beautiful. I've never heard about it ever. So it was just amazing. These are, you know, this just
Wow.
lets me know, Tamara, that we are all so connected.
Of course we are.
That you just told me something in the moment that I was going to see a friend that tell me about that. That was a confirmation.
Oh,
You
that's
should
God.
go
That's
there.
some God
That's
stuff.
God. Yeah.
But if we allow God to work through us, and I had just so much from the beginning, I don't know why, but I just had so much love for you that we've decided we're sisters or something. But I had so much love for you that it was so God worked through me. You know what I mean? That when you have that love flow, and I was like, and you received it, you could have said that's stupid. But then the woman that you met, you haven't seen her in a while either, have you?
No,
What-
no. I mean, I have never met her. I mean, the owner of this ranch, I have never met her. But that day was like if she was my sister. Because immediately she took me in, and she started, and
Wow.
then we talked on the phone, and she said, you should come and you should do this. And she was just so thrilled with me. So when I went for this therapy, I went and took a very big bag of carrots to feed all the horses.
Oh, that is so sweet. But what's amazing to me is that if here you are, God knew you're done with this. Like I've done this my whole life. Can't I just live a life? And you've kind of suffered, with being blue and going through the surgeries. And then with this, and the approach was the meditations, eating well, and then the animals. And we don't really think about the animals can be healing to us. And but they're part of God's creature. And to me, I thought it was just so beautiful. But talk about the experience. So you go there and
Yeah,
bathe.
there's somebody, Clay is asking, how does that work? Well, the first thing for me, it was
Here we go.
because there's several therapies you can take. Some of them are in groups, and some of them is just healing emotions. And I took several of them, but one of them was by myself. So it was just me, the horse, and the leader. I mean, this lady taking me with her. So the first thing she did was for me to talk about what I was feeling. And one of the things I said is precisely this, what Tamara is saying, that I had been going through so much. I was just tired, and I just wanted to heal this feeling because I needed to bring back what I was called to do, because I
Right.
felt myself tired. I felt sometimes disconnected, and doing these shows, for example, that I have my own shows, and I just felt like I didn't have the strength to do it. So she first talked to me about all this, and then she said, okay, now we're gonna walk with the horses. We're gonna walk around, and then we're gonna stop on one of the horses. And she never told me which or what. So I was just feeding some of them. And then suddenly we stopped with Rocio. That was her name. And this is this beautiful brown. Well, just not dark brown, but the one that they're
Yes.
hugging her. And I was we stopped there, and then we started. She said, "Okay." The first thing she started telling me that the horse. She told me the way the horse feels, since if the horse's heart is about 10 times
Right. There's a picture here. Let me see if
the
I can.
reception of the heart is,
Right.
each time it beats, it sends a lot of energy and it feels the energy around. So she told me she's going to feel you.
Here it
This
is.
horse is going to
Yeah,
feel your energy.
there it
Yeah,
is.
that's exactly right. That's the
So
way.
can you explain that? Well, you kind of broke up. So what the horse is 5 times bigger, the heart. So it
Yeah,
regulates the human heart just by being in the presence, correct?
right. So the energy around the horse with his heart, he feels my energy. So she said, the horse is going to feel how you're doing.
Here you go. There it is.
Yeah, so that's the hug. That's the horse. That's Rocio. That's
Beautiful.
what's his name, Rocio. So she was so beautiful. So then we started talking, and then the first thing she did is, okay, the horse wants, no, you give love to the horse. She said, hug her and give her your love, caress her. So I was just caressing her and talking to her and hugging her. And then the amazing thing was that she said, okay, now stand in front of her and now let her give you love. Let her
Okay.
give you the love. So she's going to get close to you.
I've
But
got
you,
pictures too. I'm going to show by the way, FYI, I found a way to get them downloaded. So we're doing this on the spot, but I want to show
oh
everybody
yeah,
the.
that's the way I do it all the time. I take them from
Oh God.
WhatsApp online and then I put them there.
All right.
But
So
while you're doing it, I'm going to continue.
okay, here
So,
we go. I want people to see the
okay.
progress because you're getting close to the horse. And they said, show
Yes,
love to the horse. So you showing love to the horse. And then you
that's
said,
right.
look at the horse, right? And then there's you looking at the horse.
I was trying to talk to the horse. There she is, like trying to look at each other because she was supposed to give me love now.
And then this one, she won't have
And
anything to do
then
with you.
suddenly this beautiful horse started turning around like she didn't want to look at me. And the one that, I mean, this person that was guiding me said, why are you not receiving the love she wants to give you? And I said, come on, I do want to receive it. Well, you may say it on your words, but you're blocked somehow.
Oh,
So you
wow.
need to free this. So I insisted and I insisted caressing her, but she was turning all the way around. So what I did is just I went back and I started talking to her. And then I started saying, well, I don't know what it is, but just please give me your. I mean, it was just amazing because I could feel the energy.
Really?
So the amazing thing is when the horse looks at you directly to your eyes and lets you get close to her, nose to nose. I mean, you can, and I have a picture there when finally, after an hour with her, she finally let me get close to her, and I even put my head on her front, and it was just the most beautiful moment. And what I felt then is that I was just released from this burden I had of I didn't want any more pain. So in a way, she was just healing me.
Wow. So I've got here where she's not looking at you. There's a couple she's not looking. And then she finally connects with you. And I think I've got this one here. So you see the whole process.
Yes.
And then there's what a beautiful, tender moment. Look at that.
No, she's beautiful. She then is when she was starting to let me get close.
How did that feel? I mean, this sounds silly, but do they know they're therapy horses? Do they know that's their job? Because, dogs know, like, this is my job
Well,
protecting this building. I mean, I wonder if they know.
the thing is that, well, at least the trainer was telling me that the horses know that they're there to help because
Okay.
they let you touch them. They let you hug them. They let you be close to them. But whenever you're someone they don't like, they just go away and they say, stop, it's enough. And I thought that was going to happen to me at a moment. But then finally she got close to me and she let me hug her so beautifully. And we got face to face like this and we had a beautiful moment.
Wow, that is beautiful. And it's really odd that she turned her way.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
do you think she felt, I mean, because this here's the whole sequence. So you're connecting. So this is what you're told to do. So is this your first session?
Yes, that's the first session, right?
Okay. Oh wow. I'm so glad remember I said document all this because later on,
Yes.
I don't know where this is gonna go, but this isn't over. You're gonna help people. Yeah.
And then I was just starting to get closer to her and talking to her. And then suddenly she started turning around like that.
Yeah.
She didn't want to look at me, and she didn't want to look at me. And I say, hey, why are you here? What's happening? So there's one, I hope you have it, where we finally, after an hour, we touch each other's head.
Oh man, I don't think you sent me that one. I don't
Yes,
think so.
yes, I did.
Did?
Well, it's in WhatsApp. It's probably in the upper. I don't know if it's the last ones I sent you.
I'm looking at it right now. Don't you love how this is live? Yes, thank you very much. It's awesome. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, my guests have to keep me straight. My members, my guests. I got
help each other.
Okay, so yeah, I want everybody to see this is beautiful. So what did the owner now? What's the owner's name again? Oh, Zahora.
This is I forgot her name. It's Zamora is the place. Zamora. Okay. Yeah.
And so she's telling you, she's walking you through this process. So at the end, when you connect,
her name is Norella. Norella Zamora. Norella.
Okay.
There's it. There it is. So you look at her eyes. Look at the horse's eyes. She's just so tender.
Yeah.
She allowed me to go there, and I hugged her, and I stood like that with her for a while. So she finally accepted me, and I felt it's so beautiful because you can feel the energy of the horse. Wow. And she was so tender. She was so nice that you really, I mean, forget about. I don't know. I never thought about if hugging her or the smell or nothing. You don't care about anything because you're just feeling the love the horse is transmitting. I've never had an experience like that with a horse. I love horses. I really love horses, but I like them and I love their pictures and I love looking at them running. But I had never been so close to a horse to even let me hug her and have her like that. And then, next day I didn't send you those, but it was probably 5 days later or a week later that I went and they had taken her to an upper level in the mountain. So I asked for her when I went to this emotional therapy with some other horses. Remember, you have one that I'm holding a white horse. There's one that I'm just hugging her. Absolutely. Oh, that was another therapy. Yes.
That's the white horse.
And there's another one that I'm holding while he's doing that. And so I asked for Rocio and I said, I want to see Rocio again. And they said, well, she's resting, but that's Rocio.
That's your buddy. That's your buddy now.
That's Rocio. That's my buddy.
Okay, now you're friends now.
Yeah, we are friends. So that day she said, she's not helping us now, but you can go visit her. So I went to visit her, and she immediately got close to me to get it, and then I started feeding her. And well, I couldn't take her out because she was locked there, but we were there. We were sharing some time together. I was there quite a while with her, and it just felt beautifully.
So this is really interesting. So I'm trying to understand this too, because I have heard a lot about the horse therapy, but you actually doing it, and just what was it, 3 weeks before that, having a heart surgery, and you're in front of the horse. Did you feel? I mean, I don't know. This is maybe an odd question, but did you feel your heart being like matched up, or did you feel calmer, or did you get any kind of sensation like that?
Yes. Well, remember this was This was exactly after my second surgery. I was already doing okay. My heart was better, but I was not feeling this connection, so I could go on doing what I was doing. And there's where you told me that all my
Mm.
chakras needed to align.
Yeah, your energy was
And
off.
then my energy was hot. So after that, I did this horse therapy. And what
Mhm.
happened was that I immediately started feeling this. I published these pictures in my Facebook and my Twitter and my Instagram, and everybody started telling me, "Wow, what a beautiful picture and your smile." So I started reconnecting again with my smile and with my energy, and it was
Well,
just
I love this
everybody
is my
saw that.
favorite
Yeah.
picture. I love this picture. This has to be, don't you love how I give you homework and support you spiritually? This has got to be a book. You're going to do something with healing. It's going to be great. It's
Yes.
going to be so
And I have
easy.
to go back. I have to go back and bathe them and feed them because they allow me to go feed them whenever I want. So it
And,
was just like an open door for me. So it
but
was
this
beautiful.
picture is adorable because it shows so much. You almost look like a little kid. Look at you.
I was so happy. I was so
Look at
happy.
you. You look like a little kid. And
And you can put your hand like that, or you can hold the carrot and she will be biting it, or you can just put your hand like that and she will grab it and she wouldn't even harm you or anything. She was so cute and tender because, and what Norella was telling me is because there was a connection. Otherwise, horses don't won't even take it from your hand like that.
right.
So
Well,
it was a beautiful experience.
so now, as far as the healing aspect, when you went, you're like, this was new. And then, of course, you bathed them and then you were around them and then you had that acceptance. And then you work with the white horse too, correct? This white one.
Yes.
And so, what kind of experience did you have with the white one?
What we did with these horses, that was another therapy. It was a group of people. We were about 30, so there were about 5 horses around. She was
Okay.
one of them. So what they told us is that we had to be in groups, and we chose a horse, and they gave us this saddle. How do you call it? That you put it on the horse, and then you take it all
Harness.
around. So you
Okay.
had to do all that process. They had nothing. So the horse has to allow you for you to put it in and then to take it and walk him around this area, a very big area. So if the horse doesn't connect with you, he just won't allow you to walk him. He would just walk another way.
And
So with us, it was 3 of us. It was 3 persons with me, and so we put the horse. I was guiding it. There you can see the cord, the red cord there.
mhm,
So this
mhm.
is another group there. That's not me in there, but you can see that the horse is just wants to take some food. He doesn't want to walk. So there's others that we finally could take the horse all around this place, and she came with us and she walked with us. So our homework there was to connect with the horse, so we could guide him and he trusted us. So at that time, it was just a way to show us how our emotions affected the horses in a positive or in a negative way.
Wow.
So
Okay.
in groups, we were talking to each other. We talked about our relations, about different things, and then horses started to getting close to you if you had the right energy, or if you needed healing. So there was this lady that she was crying because she had just gotten divorced, and something happened to me just like it happened to you. I got close to her and I looked at her because I told you, just look at each other for a whole minute without turning anywhere. So you were looking at this woman, another woman, just looking at each other, and then I asked her, "Are you okay?" Because you were supposed to tell what you saw, and I said, "Well, I don't know. I feel like if there's something going on and you're probably suffering, there's something going on with your life." And
Mhm.
then she said, "Well, yes, I just got divorced. I'm heartbroken." And then the horse started coming towards us. And she was just like that with the horse just going around us. And because we were talking about this, that she needed healing. it was just a wonderful
That's
experience.
wild. So do you think, okay, does the horses understand what you're saying, maybe on some level, but maybe
Yes,
when you opened up energetically,
I think it's
it
the energy. I
I
think
think
it's the energy because of the heart.
energy first, but I think on some level they do because I think it has to do with intention and energy, and they read off of that. That's how I kind of communicate with my dogs. Not that it always works, but so what about the healing aspect of it? Now, the woman that started this and her daughters and so forth that help with this, how does how is normally the therapy? Is that it? You're just supposed to have that connection, and then they come to you. Is that how it works?
Well, there's several. Some of them are about emotions. Others are about healing your feelings, and some of them are group therapies, and some of them are individual. So I took two of them. One of them was healing and contacting with your emotions.
Okay.
And so she gives a talk about it, and then we finally, after therapy, talking to her about different aspects, and she makes you. It's mean she's just a therapist, and so she does her process in a very very good way, and then she takes us to this place, the one you're showing,
Hmm.
and then horses get in. So horses are free. They walk around. You see this red cord that you
Okay.
have to put it on, and the horse has to let you guide you. I
Okay.
mean, sometimes it just won't move because they don't trust you. So that was part of what she was helping us to heal. So the horse was going to let us know if we were healing and how was our energy was dealing. So it was interesting how horses, they were just free walking all around this area, and they could get close to you or never get close to you. And so I had several of them getting close to our group several times. And sometimes there was ones that I was holding hands with them because there's different activities you have to do with the group. So we were holding hands, looking at each other, or just feeling each other, and horses getting close to us. And
Wow.
one of them even went in the middle. I mean, like, let me go through. I'm here. So that she told us that this was just like getting very, very connected with the horse, was just feeling a very good energy from us that moment. So what
So
horses do is that they feel when you're hurting, and if they trust you, they'll get close to you, so they can heal through their own energy. This heart is so big, and I'm sure there's some people that can explain it much better because I'm not. I mean, I was just a patient, if you want to call it like that.
it's cute.
So, but I could feel that the horse trusts you or doesn't. So horses know when you need healing, and they get close to you and they allow you to hug them and to touch them.
Wow.
But what the amazing thing in my own, when I was by myself, that when the therapist talks to the horse and tells her, now you give Anna Cecilia love, now you give her love, is when she started turning around. And she
Yeah,
said,
I think
well,
they understand on some
of
level. They got to
course.
understand.
Yes, she did. And then she finally said, well, you need to tell her that you want her love.
Wow.
So it took probably 20, 30 minutes after me talking to her and trying to convince her that I really want her love. And she finally at the end allow me to get close to her. This is the second day. I was just talking to her all the time. Look at that. Usually they don't look at your eyes, but she was like that all the
Look
time.
how our eyes are so big and listening. But isn't it? It's to
This
me,
was the second day. Yeah.
what's fascinating. Where's that chart again? I know it's an old timey chart, but the fact
That's
that
an amazing
it's
chart.
the
Yeah.
mechanism, the fact they're 5 times larger can regulate a human's heart is fascinating to me. But I had a shaman do this with me. I didn't know what she was doing at first, but you can do this with humans. I was getting ready to go on stage and I had people ask me stuff, and she was feeling anxiety from me, which would have been correct. And so she came up to me. She's a shaman, this friend of mine, and she grabbed me like a mama hug. You know how a mama would hold on to you? And then
Yes.
and then I was pulling back, I hugged and pulled back. And she goes, no. And she goes, and then she started breathing with me. And And she goes, listen to my
Synchronizing or
synchronizing a heart. She goes, and she slowed my heart down. She goes, listen to my heart, breathe with me. She goes, don't resist. And I was like, okay. And she
well,
like,
that's what horses do.
right. That's
With
what I'm
me, with me,
yeah.
it happened. It lowered my breathing and my heart. It was
Uh-huh.
very different from when I started than when we finished. When we finished, I mean, I was measuring with my watch, and when I finished, I was standing with. I started there at about 75, 80 minutes, 80 beats per minute, and when I finished, I was 61 beats per minute.
Okay,
It
I
was
was
just
going to ask you
wow.
about that. It did lower it. That's
Yes.
amazing to me. And if you think about, I know not even just horses, and I get the whole point. Their heart is really huge, and that it's a dominant heart that regulates, which is fascinating. That mechanism. I mean, it's you can read about it. You can go, and doctors have tested it. It's really fascinating. But animals in general, if the animal is calming, that if you're just around an animal, whether it be a cat or a dog or whatever it may be, it can really relax you. I know just petting my dog's fur, it can bring me, because he's very relaxed. He's I call him Zen puppy. He's very relaxed. It brings me way down and it
Of
grounds
course.
me and it makes me feel connected to the earth. But there's also what you said, not only connection, and yes, there's love, but he's allowing me to get close to him to be able, he's allowing that communication of him being, I think he knows he's calming me down. And so it's, we don't think of animals that way. We can also do that with our animals. We can also like be vulnerable and make a connection with them too. But yeah, but that example of the shaman, that was a human to a human. So yeah, it's not the same thing as regulating a heart because it's so big. But if someone's really upset, you ever see someone hold them and they won't let go? What they're doing is many times they're trying to regulate their breathing. So if someone's freaking out on you, you could always try that. So now, how many weeks or how many days did you do this program? And are you still in the middle of it?
No, well, I came again. I'm going to Houston for my follow up, but I was there for 2 weeks, and when I go back to Mexico, I'm planning to go back. Yeah.
Okay, so you are going to do some more. And what do you feel like when you entered that day and now how you feel?
No, there was a big difference. Just
Really? Okay.
the fact of connecting with the horse, like you said, she helped me ground, and she helped me really, because when you're there, what you want is, it's amazing, Tamara, but you want the horse to accept you. I mean, it's like you need,
Right.
because I mean, with my dogs, it's the same. You don't like it when your dogs don't even want to look at you and they just run away,
Oh
and,
my gosh.
and you call me and you don't like that. Well, with the horse, it was the same. I was sad when she was turning around, and then this therapist told me, well, the thing is that you're not really accepting her love. She accepted yours. Now
Right.
you need to accept hers. And I said, well, how do you do that? And then it's where I started breathing with her. I started talking to her. And sometimes it's just being quiet,
Yeah.
just
I,
touching. I was just touching her like that. And with our minds trying to connect. And it did work.
so, this is something that can be available to people that, I guess any kind of disease, but especially heart disease or anything in this area. Now, we were going to have, I want to just shout out real quick. Uh, we were going to have everything works out for a plan. It's fine, but we're going to have Raymond O'Brien from the UK on because he's had 12 NDEs and multiple heart attacks, and he just had a stent put in. But he's actually a healer and worked with horse therapy. And you think, why would a healer have so many problems? Look, I'm not God. I don't know all the answers, but that's what he does. He's like a seer and a healer for hospitals. Like he actually works in cancer centers, but he's worked with the horses and communicates with them. And so he has seen this work time and time again. So this is just another alternative thing to do. I know that, look, God gives our doctors knowledge and, there's things out there, medicines to help us, but these are alternative things that you can do, including those meditations. Did that heart meditation help you?
Yes, very much. I did it for about 3 or 4 nights in a row. Oh, yes, it helped me a lot. It
Help
really
your,
helped. And I could see it was helping me because I could sleep much better. I really went back. After I did that, I went to sleep and it was a really good sleeping. Yeah.
Well, and it also could be too that you, by addressing it and looking at it and being okay with it, is allowing that
Yeah.
part of your body to heal. And because we are
No, and,
also,
and I believe that meditation and doing all this really, it has really made the difference. I mean, I mentioned it on our other show, but I didn't even know anything about meditation or about breathing. But I did this even when I was just a kid. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just so tired. I was
that's
so
wild.
overwhelmed that I went to my room and I just lay down in my bed and I started talking to my body, talking to my blood, and telling her or it to go all around the lungs and get oxygen because I wanted to go back to play. I remember closing my eyes and breathing and visualizing all this process in my body. So that was meditating without even knowing.
Well, I mean, yeah, you were already attuned to that. And I also wanted to speak. And so this is just for people watching another alternative method to healing, and it probably helped with your recovery much faster. And
Yes.
there's meditations for different things to help, like a guided meditation that can help you be at ease with whatever it is you're going through, and kind of breathe through that. But I want people, I know you talk a lot about it on the other show, the other episode, but about your archangel ruffle.
Yes.
Well, that was fascinating. I've never heard anyone seeing their angel ride with them on a horse, but there's there's always been some, it sounds like, connection with horses with you a long time ago.
Yes, a long time. I didn't. I mean, I'm just connecting everything now. It's like if something happened, it's like the Bible says. Well, I didn't see before, and now I see. It's like if suddenly everything comes out to on its place, and I am starting to understand many things. When I was about to finish my book, that I decided to look for the word raffle. It was just a shock when I found out it was an archangel. And I said, okay, so this is not a ghost. This is not someone
Right.
bad. This has been always an angel taking care of me.
I
I mean,
believe it.
I was writing it. I mean, I was writing my book, and while I was doing all this, I mentioned him, and I remember always felt he was always so close. But the moment that I knew he was not a threat to me is before my second
Hardly.
surgery that I talked to him and I said, well, Raffle, here we go. I remember saying, long time no see. I mean, I'm about to go to my second surgery. I feel I'm going to die. I'm getting too close to this, that there's no, because everything was, I was so sick. And I started asking, but could you please ask God if there's a way I could stay? I have a little baby. She's 9 months old. I want to raise her. And I was talking to him all the way to the, because it was an emergency surgery. And I remember at that moment saying, please help me, Rob. Please help me. And well, he did. And I'm right here
He did.
after
And
30 some years.
it's amazing. I mean, what a testimony to people that are basically given a death sentence, and here you are, because God can do anything. And also our human spirit and our human triumph to say, no, I want something different. So, and it's not like you're not trying, you're not moping, you're very active, you're very much so participating in life and helping others. But to have the Archangel Raphael, I mean, I could put money, I'd bet money that you're going to come out a healer on this. I'm just
Thank you.
saying. Oh
I
yeah,
hope so, and I'm just
totally.
opened, and I'm really trying to follow my everything that comes like my purpose, and I'm doing a lot through you, Tamara. So thank you so much for everything you've done with
Oh,
me and to me, even maybe you don't even knowing, but you have been a blessing to me. Yes, definitely, and I
oh,
appreciate it really. Thank you.
oh, you're so welcome. I would. I'm very grateful to be of service, and also be your friend. I mean, I want to make sure that you do. I wouldn't have said anything if I didn't get it strongly, but I love what you said about And you're welcome, of course, but that you follow service. And so I'm guessing there's a healing, there's some programs coming out of this, there's some book, but you're going to follow. And I think that when you're following God, the divine, in your life, what's needed, it's sort of magical because you don't know what's around the corner, but then you're right, it does all seem to come together. So you follow, I follow, and sometimes it's saying things to people that feel like Tourette's. You're just ugh. But if you do it with love in your heart and you mean well and you do have a strong intention, so this journey with you continues. But this does show a lot of people saying this. Maybe it's not them that has a heart condition, but maybe it's their mother, their father, their husband or wife. This is something that you should look into. And it also grounds you to this world with the animals, and it's a joy there too. And it's something that, what are the side effects? None. No
And
side effects.
after my near-death experience, because I hope you can hear this. I mean,
Yes.
everybody that's listening, I saw a lot of animals, and there was just the first part of my journey was full of animals, beautiful animals. My life absolutely changed after that, the way I looked at animals, because I have much more respect, because it's just God's creation, and it's animal life, just as we are alive. They have all the right to be alive. And I started to feel very different about many animals.
Well, here's their book. Everybody, you've got to buy Anna's book, and you can get
Thank
it on
you.
Amazon. When Life is Not Forever, and I'm going to get rid of your title real quick just so they can see the whole book. But this tree, in the first episode, you'll have to see this tree. You explain when you go through your NDE in this tree, you actually see animals branching off and animals all together, and what that, we're not going to go into it now, but what that meant to you. But we're all unified. We're all part of God's plan. We're all living and breathing. And I think that it's a new way of looking at, the world. It's not just, we can interconnect and show love to one another through animals. And I think that people don't realize that there could be some healing there. Either way, quite honestly. I send little balls of white light because I didn't even say this, Tucker, who has a heart condition, it's a terminal heart condition, should have been gone a year ago. And I was devastated. He was a rescue. I've had dogs my whole life, but not him. He's different. He really is. And he's, I don't know what it is. He doesn't act like a dog. He doesn't want anything. He just kind of hangs out. But I send balls of light, a bright white light, divine light. And so and feeling the whole cat and then let it just shine out. I also lay hands. I pray for him. I send beauty. I send love. I put him around in a white light and a white light with pink around it. And I know he feels it because when I put my hands around, and so I know he feels me doing this. And we have I don't want to cry. I have such a connection with him. We thought we were going to put him down a year ago, which was awful because I've only had him 4 years. And I was just a sobbing mess. And they gave some, medicine, some very strong stuff, and gave us some oxygen and sent us on our way. And I don't beg. Well, a little bit. Sometimes I have, but I thank God. And I think, I have a connection with Jesus, and I thank him for Tucker. My husband and I have thanked him for him. And he's not only gone to his Make-A-Wish to the beach, he's also gone to the mountains. He's still doing well.
There you go. There you go.
They said he should have been gone. He's still here. And here's the thing, quality of life. He's very happy. There's, quality of life matters.
That's the difference. You have to, for me, being happy is a decision you make. And you made a decision to be happy, and he knows it. He feels it. And there he is. He's still with you.
Yeah. And so I say a deal. I didn't make a deal with Jesus, sort of, but I said, look.
An agreement.
I said, we came to an understanding. I said, look, it's your time to take him. I won't like it, but I'll understand. I just ask one thing of you. Don't make him suffer. Okay. Right. If you could, I can't stand to see this little baby, but he has been with us, and what was my job? He goes, okay, well then I've got something for you to do. I was like, okay. He says, I just want you to love him. I went, I can do that. And my husband, I love it. And I know you've got, I wish we could see the pictures. You've got what, 4 or 5 adorable chihuahuas?
Oh,
How many
we
do you
just we just lost 3
have?
in the time of, I mean, a year ago. It's been 3 of them. We have been. They were very. I mean, they're 15 to 13, but
Oh,
they were
wow.
just my life. And one of them had an accident trying to jump. This was an
Oh,
adopted little dog. She jumped to be with me, and she
oh,
hit her head. And
oh, dear God. I had
oh
that happen
well,
years
I
ago.
have 2 left.
Oh gosh,
Yes,
but
but
you're
they're
like
just
me. You love the little
my
yappers
darlings.
around. I know. I love animals so much. Well, look, everybody
Thank you.
buy Anna's book, and we've got this. That's at Amazon. One more time here, and then also, if you want to tell everybody uh, your website, if they want to get a hold of you,
Yes,
um,
it's anaceciliagonzalez.com.
and then
And my YouTube is Ana Cecilia Gonzales.
okay,
And my Instagram is Ana Ceci, well, with a Y, GZC,
okay,
at Ana Ceci GZC. And well, you can find me just by putting my name, Ana Cecilia Gonzalez. Usually you'll find
yeah,
everything.
yeah, you pop right up, and then
Thank
I'm
you
going to
very
be.
much.
Oh, of course. And you're going to be, of course, you're very involved with spiritual awakenings now because it's created for experiences by experiences, which we both are. But I'm going to be on your show. I know there's some corrections. It's not perfect yet. We're still working on this draft, but
No,
it's
no, no.
September
We're going
29th.
to change that.
It's okay. It's just a draft, guys. But it's September 29th. I'm going to be on your show. Is that what we agreed to? Is
Yes,
it
I
live?
think I don't remember if it's the 29th or the 30th. I don't
I'll
remember what you told me what's best for you.
I'll put it in the community, and we're going to talk
Oh,
about a bunch of
it's on
stuff.
the 30th.
And
Yeah, I have it on the 30th,
I'll
but I
put
will
it in my
change. Okay.
I'll put it in the community, on the YouTube community, my community Seeking Heaven, and let you know when that's going to be so everybody can
And
see that.
Tamara, if you have a beautiful blue
Oh,
sky picture, send it to me and I will change everything.
okay. No, I said, I like the blue sky better than the rock. She was like, oh boy, she's pushy. She's one of them pushy
No, no,
Americans.
the thing is that I just love that place. That's why I thought, but you're right. I mean, it's better to have more light. Well,
Oh, well,
thank you
it can
so
always
much,
have more
Tamara.
light.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
you're
but
welcome.
I will change everything. Don't worry.
No,
It's
no.
going to be amazing to have you in my show and to share with a lot of more people. I have a lot of followers from Spain. They're not going to understand a lot, but I'm going to look for a way for us to have subtitles. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
We
going to look
talked
for that.
about that, and I have subtitles in mind. So we're gonna look at that because I would love to also have some bilingual shows. I have a friend who's from France who has NDEr. So look, this is a global community. I mean,
Yeah.
we're really as one, and I think that was a beautiful story with you mentioning this woman, and then how that just tied in, and we're very connected. So look, stay
Thank you
tuned
so much.
with Anna Cecilia Gonzales because there's a lot going to come from here. This
Thank
is
you.
just the start. It gives other people an option that's again, no side effects, a lot of fun, and can regulate it. But there's going to be more from you, so I can't wait. So look, thank you so much. I know you've got another show you've got to
Thank
jump
you.
off into.
I
I know
have a show
we
in
decided to
15
do this
minutes.
anyway.
God bless you, Tamara. God bless you. And really, like I told you last time, and I tell everybody, please listen to this amazing woman. She's been wonderful to me, and I'm sure that she's going to be wonderful for many of you. Thank you for having me in your show. It was a
Oh,
blessing.
are you kidding? You're a
Thank
blessing. I'll support you in any way that I can. And thank you for being a love leader. Anna's a love leader. She's a member. So if you join to be a love leader,
you.
and you get we get our spiritual sessions together.
I'm getting the love. I'm really getting the love. Thank
Oh,
you.
of course. Look, God bless you. I can't
God
wait to
bless you.
see you soon. And I'll see you tomorrow for the SAI thing, and have a great show, and much love to you.
Thank you. Much love to you too.
Take care. Bye
God
bye.
bless you.
Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed Anna.
Thank you.